Welcome to the Verdin Sports Show. I'm your host, Jacob Verdin. Hope everybody's having a good one. You made it to Wednesday. Unfortunately, Team USA did not. You got eliminated from Belgium. Disappointing. Got a nice little show for you today, though, in hindsight. Got Sam Levitt tape review. Going to do a college football sleeper list in terms of teams, college football playoff appearances, maybe for some dark horse candidates. Last year, we were kind of, I don't want to say suspicious, but we were on Texas Tech's trail a little bit. We knew that they had some opportunity, some talent. There's a few teams I believe are in that same breath this offseason with what they've done. And then I got some defensive stars I want to give some flowers to. We talked about the quarterbacks. We've talked about the wide receivers. There's a lot of love being shown to the offense. What about the defense, though? We'll kind of get into that aspect of it. As per usual, live Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 a.m. Hit the thumbs up. Drop any questions, comments, concerns, anything you want us to talk about in the comment section. We'll get to it. Let's talk about the Sam Levitt tape, though. So, obviously, LSU brings in the number one portal prospect, the number one quarterback. Lane Kiffin gets hired, the offensive guru himself. And when he arrives, he has no scholarship quarterback. So you're in a bit of a bind. You're in a situation where you lose Nussmeier to the draft, you lose Michael Van Buren to the transfer portal, and there is a bunch of other confusion in between. Regardless, you had the saga with Demond Williams. Is Demond coming? Is he not? And inevitably, you get your guy in Sam Levitt. You still have conflicting opinions on him. You still have people, and not to say that they're worrying he's not good. It's more so the health. It's more so the injuries. And I figured, why not just cut the tape on? See it for ourselves. He's practicing currently right now in terms of his health, even though the Liz Frank injury is something that is a huge talking point around him. He is practicing. He is getting on the field. Yeah, he missed spring because he had to get those pins out. But here's what the staff is saying. There's two things. First, they talk about how tough he is, how he's able to play through certain things, or just his overall attitude in this situation has been spoke about highly. And then them talking about the shot that he has going forward this season to be able to put on tape how much of a polished, developed, experienced passer he really and truly is. There's a lot of assets to his game, regardless on if the spring was limited, regardless on how much time he's had in the scheme with Kiffin, yada, 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 so on and so forth. I think LSU has enough resources and enough people in that building to be able to facilitate this transition and make Sam Levitt, even in a spot of recovering, one of the better arms in college football. And you have the virtual reality aspect of it too. You could put a VR headset on him in the spring and he didn't even have to go out there on the field live. You can plop him right in the stadium. They put him in the exact distance. They put him with the exact route trees, the exact plays. You're seeing the same exact defensive look. He can prepare for Clemson right here in July. He can prepare for damn near any opponent he wants. That aspect of it makes it seem like the transition from being hurt and being sidelined into being able to play and being cleared is going to be smooth. But we got the tape now. With the tape, I want to show you a couple of things. We're going to look at some key moments. The Big 12 championship from 2024. We're going to be looking at them playing Texas Tech last year against that pass rush that got to him a few times. We're going to look at him in Baylor, because the Baylor game is when he got hurt. And then we're going to end it off with the Mississippi State game, because that's going to be the quote-unquote, without trying to be cliche, the Achilles heel for him is the fact that people are confused on why he played so poorly against an SEC caliber defense and why they should expect it not to happen. And I've got a bunch to say about it. Let's just jump right into it, though. Shout out our guys at True Media. So here's a little bang. Saints fans are going to love this tape, too. It's none but Jordan Tyson. I mean, nothing but Jordan Tyson. This is a good little ball, good little shot. Placement is fantastic. Yeah, he's getting pressured. If you look at the pocket, Sam Levitt's getting touched right now, and he will be getting touched the entirety of this tape. This is a good spot, though, where the ball is. I don't know if you can see it on your screen. I'll full screen it real quick. It's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful spot to throw this where the DB isn't going to get it over the top. It's strictly a, hey, if the wide receiver can't get it, nobody can get it type deal. This is a professional throw. This is what you need to see from him. This is a good start. Excuse me. This one's Jordan Tyson. It's kind of a little screen concept, like a little rub. It looks like they have a double They have a slant coming over the top, and then they kind of have like a little. It looks like an out. Regardless, you're having your wide receivers cross, kind of confuse some of the DBs. He gets an over the shoulder throw. Once again, in a spot where only the wide receiver's getting it, the DB's not going to be able to get it. This is good ball placement. This is good eyes. This is good attention. And in the red zone, exactly where you're going to make your money as a quarterback, he showed calm, cool, collected composure, quite frankly. Able to find the read, the open man, get it in the end zone, and now they're celebrating. I like the distance that he can put under the ball, too. Right here, you get to see it. Bam. Great read. Hits him down the side, in stride, and it's 6. The placement on this is phenomenal, too. I'll bump it back. So you see about right here is when he understands, okay, cool, I got a lead. You can see at the 50-yard line, the receiver passing right over that corner, or it's a safety. He don't have a chance. He probably just realized right about now, Sam's already getting ready to let that rip and throw. He's loading up right here. Bang. Lets it eat. There's probably 10 yards of separation, damn near. And he puts it on the money. This is what you're going to need. This is another good aspect of the way he brings to the table at LSU. Accuracy, gunslinging ability, but he does have mobility, too, to pair with it. Here he is against Baylor. Once again, this is the game he got hurt in a very similar spot. You see a nice little seam shot, and he blasted over the middle of the defense, and they're not paying attention. You get real lax in that zone coverage. If you can beat somebody over the top and create that space and there's nobody left to check, there's no safety valve, there's nothing after that, it's the quarterback's arm versus the defense. And Sam Levitt's making them pay right here. I mean, it looks like kind of a quarter spot, like a 4-high zone. Wide receivers clearing every single one of them. I mean, there is the safety coming over the top right here towards the Baylor logo. That's the only person that could somehow play it. And with the way he throws it, he's not even going to have a chance. It's a good ball. It's a good ball, and it's a good sign. Things like this on tape kind of play into why I'm thinking people are overblowing a lot of the stuff where they're complaining. Now, we will have a Mississippi State tape at the end, though, so we do get to see some of the good, some of the bad, some of the ugly. This, I believe, is against TCU. That's a hell of a shot, again, on the sideline. You really get to see the accuracy, the placement, the throw power. And they do have a phenomenal wide receiver corps, but so does LSU. There's a lot of separation getting placed. I mean, the separation's created right there off the press. By the time he crosses midfield, he's already wide open. That ball's gone. And he placed it well. He didn't underthrow it where the DB is going to deflect it. He didn't make the wide receiver stop. Shout out Jordan Tyson, man, New Orleans' very own right here. This is against Texas State, so not the toughest opponent. I like this. This is another one of those top over the top of the defense type shots. And then I like the way that you can tell just about when he realizes it's open, and then you can tell when he's trying to look them off. Good little move right here by the receiver to double in and get back, because a lot of people are getting pushed out to the sideline. Here's the Texas Tech game. Here's where the pressure comes. This is when you really see the mobility side of Sam Levitt, and this is going to be how you'll see him in the SEC, in my opinion, because they will pressure him. They will try to get him off his spot. They will move him around the field and make him uncomfortable, but if he can adjust and if he can roll out, if he can extend a play and be a mobile passer, if he can throw on the run accurately, he's going to be able to succeed. There are moments here, though, where Texas Tech gets to him, but he does, in the face of pressure, get off some nice passes. Here's one off the rip. I'm going to pause it right here. You see him winding up. You also see a Texas Tech defender pretty much ready to run right through his face. And he still lets it go. He knows he's taking a shot. He knows he's getting lined. He's getting pieced right after that ball leaves his hands. And it's still an accurate pass. It's still on a rope. Boom. Damn near 50 air yards through the entire thing. This is not the biggest, benefit, if you will, but it is something that I believe will play into them being able to stand in the pocket and trust him. Trust his arm, trust his ability to be able to read, react, let it rip, have confidence in his throwing ability, because this pressure right here is coming. It is coming. And he's handling it well. It's coming when Texas plays. It's coming against, a South Carolina. It's coming against every single damn SEC school that you could possibly face. So if you can handle it, not only do you stay healthy, but you give LSU a chance in a lot more ways than one. Another look here at Texas Tech. See the pressure coming off the edge again. He has to step inside, move toward the left, evade. Then there's another one breaking down on him, kind of like a spy, but he was more so in a flat. Regardless, he's got two players crashing down while he's trying to read. Takes another shot out of the pocket, lets it rip. Still completed. Very similar. It's almost the opposite sides of the field in terms of him staying in the pocket, letting it rip, taking a shot. Instead of it going to the right sideline, though, now you're going towards the left. One more time on this one. The ability to be able to read that pocket. That's what I have gained at least a respect for his game in, is the ability to be able to recognize when pressure's coming, when he's going to have to move, and he still keeps his eyes down the field and he can read it properly. He's not panicking and trying to force something or throwing it away or trying to run. He's still reading the field right now as he's moving, evading that rusher. He's still climbing forward, looking, okay, I got something. Bang. Confidently lets it rip, gets annihilated on the release, and it's still a dot. It's a dot that gets them in the red zone. So shout out Sam Levitt. This is those moments on tape that impressed me. And shout out Jordan Tyson. Nice little play action spot here against Mississippi State, the game that everybody wants to, kind of crucify him for. Nice little toss here. Kind of a similar situation where you climb the pocket. You see that you are losing. You're losing that battle on the edge. They're trying to contain him. They're trying to keep him in that little pocket, and he's just going to step up, try to get some room. Let one eat towards the sideline. Someone's just sitting there in that zone, completely wide open, completely untouched. One of his better throws versus Mississippi State. This one, touchdown throw on the inside, Jordan Tyson. Bop. That's a good read. That's a good route. You'll see that one a lot. At LSU, I believe, just with the packages you can put guys like Winston Watkins or a Jace Brown or, even a Eugene Wilson like we saw the other day. They all will be plug and played in a short RPO, a quick game, little slant screen or something where it's a quick read. It doesn't take a lot of, thinking. You'll see this a lot. And it's a good read. It's one-on-one coverage. And, at that point, you've got two options. You really got three. You either hand it off here at the snap, and then there goes our pre-snap motion again. So you're identifying what they're doing, where they're at. You got an option here to hand it off and run. If not, you got an option to dump it back to the running back in that flat. And then you got an option to throw that out to Jordan Tyson. So these looks are, it's like a Swiss Army knife play. And if Sam Levitt's able to keep his composure in moments like that, make it the right read and identify what the defense is doing like this immediately after snapping the ball, he's got enough wherewithal to be one of the top quarterbacks. And these are the moments that are kind of coming through the tape. Here's one that's a little worrisome, though. I'm going to stop it and just let y'all know. The last two plays right here are the ones where, we're going to have to talk about a little bit. We're going to have to just see, like, hey, what's he going to work on? Because there is always something to improve on in the tape. Once again, pressure getting to him. And I'll say Arizona State, their offensive line is terrible. He's running around the field all the time. Wide receiver core is very good, very complimentary. Offensive line, anything but. Here he is moving again. Uncomfortable off his spot, trying to make a read, pressure again in the face, and he throws a pick. This was the exact play that just happened against Texas Tech, if you recall, because he does this. Let me back it up to when the ball was snapped. He snaps the ball, and he's immediately pressured. He's immediately backing up. He has no room, and he's like, oh, God. Takes a step forward, and he has to run. Right here, he's almost getting hit. He evades that rusher, does a little juke move, backs up a little bit more, rolls out. Here comes a linebacker on the spy, breaking down. He's over the top of him. He knows, okay, cool, there's nobody in my area he can dump to. I'm going in for the hit. There, he starts to throw it. Now he's trying to deflect it. Still climbs down on him. Sam is pressured. Sam has defenders all over the place. He wasn't able to actively find a good read down the field while he was pressured. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. And in this moment, he forced it. Bad ball, turnover. There's a lot of areas that you can harp on in this. The biggest one I'm going to say is the lack of protection. Also, though, back to my comment, you will see him pressured. You will see him run around. You will see him moving off his spot. It will be important at LSU to protect that ball because a turnover in the SEC, especially in a late game scenario, you can almost kiss that game goodbye. And not to say that the Big 12 isn't the same. Of course, turning the ball over at any level in football is terrible. But in the SEC, it's a little bit different. You don't have as many opportunities. The competition gets bigger. And moments like this, when you might not have a read or when you might be pushed out the pocket, it might be easier to tuck and run, touch the sideline after gaining 2 yards. Might be easier to just throw it to the water boy and get him to catch it rather than force it downfield into this spot. And now you throw an interception. These are moments where you learn, though. And these are also moments where, I'm not going to lie, I know people are giving him crap for the Mississippi State game. There's throws like the Jordan Tyson one. There's throws like he did at the beginning, evading pressure. But then there's moments like this. So it's not all terrible is my point. It wasn't just an abysmal game. The stats weren't great, but it wasn't, god awful. Here he is again moving around. This will be another interception. I believe he threw 2 the entire game. Here's the second one. Takes a stop, tosses it, huffs it into a sea of defenders at this point. Definitely one of those moments where it's confusing. It's like, man, he might have been, hurt. He could have been at the point now where he's like, shit, I don't got nothing open. Regardless, no excuse. It's an exact replica of the last pick, quite frankly. He's rolling. He takes a step up in the face of a defender who's outstretching that arm. And it's just bad all the way around. I don't know if the ball got tipped. It could have got tipped, in my opinion, just because it looks like he's throwing it way harder, way further. And right here, I think he deflects it, and then he comes inside to grab it. Could have just took it over the middle, though, and it was a bad read. But there are a lot of good reads, though. I'll say that with Sam Levitt. There are a lot of things that you can improve on. The Mississippi State game, everyone's going to give him shit for it. But it's a moment where, 1, the protection wasn't there. 2, he's in an instance where he wasn't – that's not his your final form, the final version of Sam Levitt. This is not the do-or-die moment for him, because in the moments like the Big 12 championship, he was able to make it work. In the moments like the college football playoff versus Texas, he was able to make it work. So it's tough to harp on those plays in that one particular moment in Starkville when you have all the other moments on tape, when you have him against Texas Tech, extending the play, moving out of the pocket, rolling left, hitting someone in stride, wide open down the field. There are a lot of good things, and I'm sure Lane Kiffin's going to be able to work with them. What do you work on, though? Be a little smarter in forcing passes when you might not have to. I do like his rushing ability and extending and moving and getting out and evading and all this good stuff, but you're going to have to be a little bit smarter with how you use it, when you tuck and run, and sometimes when you just simply throw it away. Now, you have more options here at LSU. Of course, you got the offensive line figured out, and that's going to be good. You're playing a top defense in terms of pressure. That'll also be good. Plus, then you have the tempo in your back pocket, which will gas out that rush, and you're not going to have to worry about it as much. If you have to ask me right now, I would say Sam Levitt does have a shot to be in a Heisman ceremony, a finalist, one of the top quarterbacks talked about in all of college football. But everything's going to have to come together around him. I think he's healthy enough to do it. They're just going to have to put him in a situation to succeed. He's got all the capabilities, all the tools, everything you need, the intangibles, whatever. You're just going to have to bring it to life, bring it to fruition, if you will. I got some faith in them, though. All right, let's talk about the college football sleepers. I got a list of teams that I think somehow, some way could defy the odds next year, because there's always somebody. Now, I'm not saying these teams are winning it all. I'm just saying I got some dark horses that could maybe climb into the top 12 and clinch a playoff berth. Now, is that enough? It ain't enough for everybody. Some people just want a playoff berth. Like LSU fans, they just want a playoff berth. Texas fans, probably not so much. No. Then also there's a side too of it where you got new dogs in the hunt every year. Like last year, Texas Tech, Indiana. You got a bunch of new names in the mix that, okay, sure, yeah, maybe have been competitive sparingly over the last few years, but nothing like they were last season. I got 4 of them that I'll rattle off to you. So I'll start with the first one. I got Oklahoma State, man. I love this team. I love how they built it under Coach Morris. I feel like they've pretty much done a brain transplant from North Texas into here. From quarterbacks to even the wide receiver to the support staff. The team is going to have continuity at every level, and it's so important when you're in a transitional phase to have that. Especially, let's look at Kiffin and LSU with the offensive side of things. Sure, it's a bunch of new offensive coaches, but there's a level of comfort. 1, around it being Lane Kiffin and him being an expert. 2, in them having enough options to be able to ease that transitional period. It's not going to be as hard. The man on the screen gives me the most confidence in this entire pick being Drew Messmaker, he's a phenomenal quarterback. He's got a great arm. He led the country in passing yards. He's a superstar waiting to be crowned. The Big 12 needs something like this, especially with the Sorsby exit and Texas Tech and shambles. There will be a new dog in that conference, I will say. Texas Tech has been at the top of it for a while. They've been competitive. Last year, they looked great. They still have a decent enough squad. I'm feeling Oklahoma State, though. I believe the Big 12 has a lot of opportunity. We'll have to see who can seize it the most, though. Now, Virginia Tech. I don't think Virginia Tech is a sleeper in a sense where they're going to do anything other than maybe make it uncomfortable for some teams in the ACC. But that is big enough for them. They got the 6th best transfer portal class. They just added James Franklin, of course, who I think is one of the most underrated coaches in the country. He was fired way too early, and now he gets a chance to prove that in the ACC, a way easier conference than what he was reasonably successful in the Big Ten. I mean, making the playoffs, going on a deep run. Believe he went as far as the semis the year before he was fired even. So I like what James Franklin has done in the recent years. And in a lighter conference like the ACC, when all you're really worrying about is a Miami, maybe a Clemson, maybe a Florida State, there's not many. Even those teams aren't even impossible to beat. You're not in an SEC. You're not a Big Ten where you got to walk and play Oregon and Indiana and Ohio State and Michigan and USC. I mean, this is a little bit easier, a lot a bit easier, quite frankly. So I've got some faith in him and what he will potentially be able to do. Will he make a playoff? I don't know, but he could turn Virginia Tech into an ACC sleeper for sure instantly. And then Houston, 7th best transfer portal class in 2026. They're clearly not terrible. They beat LSU in the bowl game. And I know people are saying, yeah, it's a bowl game. It should have been close. It shouldn't have been. They scored 38 points on the LSU defense. Regardless of the depth that was out there, I don't care. The fact that they scored that much and kept it that competitive, insane to me. Willie Fritz is building him a winner out there in the Big 12. And once again, the Big 12 is wide open. There's 2 Big 12 schools on this list because I feel like that is how unclear that conference is in terms of who's leading it, who's an actual contender, yada, yada, yada. Houston's got a good shot. And then you got Connor Wigman coming back as well. That's a huge boost. A lot of talent. He's in that same category as Messmaker where people don't really give him enough praise. Last, Texas A&M. This don't really feel like a sleeper. It's more of an SEC afterthought because Texas A&M, in terms of college football, is one of the best teams. They made the college football playoff last year. They have right now the number 3 transfer portal class from 2026 offseason. Of course, the man on the screen, Marcel Reed, is going to return. And they don't have terrible odds. So that's why I'm like, it's not like a sleeper bad because you got the 9th best title odds, plus 2,000, tied with LSU. They went on a fantastic run last year to end the season, beat some very good teams. It's more so that when we're talking top teams in the SEC, a lot of people are going to rattle off instantly a Texas, a Georgia, and they might even throw LSU in above Texas A&M. I'm going to try to pump the brakes, man. I think College Station's got a decent enough squad. It might pain a lot of people to hear me say that, but this is a sleeper going into next year, and that's one that I can say actually can legitimately win a national title. A lot of the other teams here are more so sleepers in a sense where Virginia Tech, you're expecting them to be terrible, 500. They could actually have a shot. Oklahoma State hasn't been talked about a lot, could win their conference. Houston, slowly, rolling and building into a powerhouse. Texas A&M, though, undoubtedly the best team on the whole list. They just, at 9th best odds, I think that's mispriced. They could have the top 5 odds. They could have top 3 odds in the SEC every single year. If you're a top 3 team in the SEC, you're a top 5 team in the country. You're definitely not sitting there at 9th. Now, that's my opinion on it. Of course, everybody has their own. So that's the beauty of it. But these are my sleepers. And I'll segue into this one, too. We'll talk about some underrated college football defensive guys because I'm praising Drew Messmaker, and we've been talking about quarterbacks for a while here on the show. We talked about wide receivers Monday, I believe, in terms of underrated guys. I'm looking forward to seeing in years, I think, or the year I think that can blow them up, being this one. I got some defenders that I want to put some respect on, some flowers on. Colin Simmons is the first one. Absolute unit for Texas off the edge. He almost went to LSU. And if he did, it would be a lot different hype around him. He's probably the best defensive player in college football. I'll say that one more time. Colin Simmons, in my opinion, is the best defensive player in the entire country. He has 21 sacks in the career, top of the heap in the whole entire country. He led last year 12 sacks, 15 and a half tackles. That's damn near a sack a game. I mean, the ability to pressure is that. Let me tell you why Colin Simmons makes it so difficult to game plan for. The fact that he can make quarterbacks, that the tape we just looked at with Sam Levitt, the worst moments were what? When he's pushed off his spot, when he's pushed around that pocket, when he's got to make a decision while running, when there are people in his face trying to deflect those passes. This man on the screen right now is the guy that will be in someone like Sam Levitt's face. He will constantly create pressure every single game to the point where you have to know where he is all the time. And there are going to be plays and schemes and formations that offenses are going to have to keep on the shelf because they will not be able to stop Colin Simmons in those sets. And I know it sounds crazy. He will handcuff offensive coordinators next season because of how dominant he is in the pass rush scheme. And it's just, you see him everywhere. You see him all over the place. He's making plays at every level. He's making plays in the zone. He's making plays in a pass rush. He's stopping a run. He's sacking. He's getting a fumble. He's doing everything. He's blowing through gaps. He's making tackle for losses. Steve Sarkisian said it best. He hadn't coached anybody like him ever. He's never seen anybody like this. And I agree. This is the best defensive player in college football by far, bar none, going in the next season, and he needs his respect. The second player, in my opinion, Dylan Stewart. I'll give him some flowers as well. I think if it ain't Colin, it's him. 6'5", 245 pounds. Some scouts are saying it's like he's made in a lab. It's like you bought CFB, you made a road to glory, and you got an edge. And you're thinking, damn, I need to make, I don't know, the second coming of Aaron Donald. This is what it is. Dylan Stewart is a specimen. He's a freak, and he still has speed and an insane ability to be able to get through and rush the pass despite that size. A lot of people aren't able to be that big and that fast. He could do both, and those are both intangible. It's insane. Now, I'll say this too, and I'm not throwing no shade, but I'm going to call a spade a spade a spade. I do think Colin Simmons is the best player in terms of defense in college football, but Colin Simmons has dogs around him. Colin Simmons has elite linebackers, elite DBs covering. He's got elite defensive tackles on the side of him. It's hard to just look at Colin Simmons on Texas defense because they can beat you with so many other players. Not South Carolina. South Carolina is just Dylan Stewart. Like, okay, they've had DQ Smith and they've had other like Kyle. They've had some guys. They've had some dogs. But for the most part, in their scheme, in their attacking sets, it's Dylan Stewart. You can double him. You can put all the attention on him. It's just number 6. And that makes it that much more impressive to me that he's still standing out because Colin Simmons with the complimentary side of it, you just can't put all your eggs in one basket against Texas. But against South Carolina, you could. And he still shows up. And he still shows out. So that's something that I think is really not talked about enough in a sense where he's in the same breath as an elite edge rusher from Texas who's playing in the college football playoffs, who's in one of the best teams in the country. You got somebody in South Carolina damn near going 500, still turning as many heads. It's almost equally as impressive, in my opinion. And man, some people might not feel that way, but I do. I got an LSU guy here, Ty Benefield. Everybody has been singing his praises down here at LSU. Everybody, coaches, players, media members. From what we've seen, he's looked the part. On the field, he's a great safety. He could be one of the best pieces on that back end of LSU's defense you've seen in recent years. I'll go as far as to say that. He is doing the same exact game plan as Mansour Delane. You have a lot of hype and you've got great draft stock, but you're coming to a spot where we're going to polish you up and get you ready. And then you're going to be a day one pick. It's exactly what's going to happen. You saw Mansour Delane go, 6 to the Chiefs? I mean, he was a top 8 pick regardless. It was either 6. It was 6. That he was probably going to be a 3rd rounder. If he just went to the NFL after Virginia Tech, Mansour Delane, he was not even going to be a day 2 pick, or it would have been late. Now, he heard his name called within the first 6 people. And Ty Benefield is going to have the same exact performance and the same exact output, in my opinion. His stock will soar. Some coaches at LSU think right now, currently, before the entire season's even played, he could be a day 1 pick. But the thing I like the most that people rave about him is his character. He's holding the team accountable, and nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear, oh, he's such a good person off the field. People think it's cliche. It matters. It matters more than anybody's willing to realize. And I'll tell you one brief story as to why. There was a story told to me about Ty Benefield in LSU's locker room very recently. Long story short, people in his position group on the defensive side and all this good stuff, there was a little, we horsing around a little bit. It's football. It's the summer. We're clowning. Ty Benefield wasn't going for it. He kept everybody accountable in the locker room. It was, might be a little dirty, might have a little shenanigans going on. He made everybody sleep in the damn locker room. Like, bro, you're not going home. We clean in the locker room. You're locking in and you're sleeping in your locker. The little pods they got, we sleeping in them tonight. Everybody meet at the building now. That's a veteran mind. That's a leader in the room. That's something when you hear, okay, dog, immediately circle it, dog, Ty Benefield. You can, one, have the respect of your teammates to be able to do that. Two, have the courage to stand up in front of everybody and say, stop doing this shit. That's a leader mindset because it takes a lot of people to be able to go against the grain when a lot of dudes are doing one thing and make them do the other. That character side of it counts. It really does. What are you going to do when nobody's watching you? Are you going to keep doing the right thing? Are you going to keep doing the things you have to do? Because if you're not doing that when the lights are off, when the camera's off, when people aren't over your back, you're not going to do that in a pressure moment in the fourth quarter when you're on national television in front of 10 million people. How you do anything in life is how you do everything. And Ty Benefield does everything with the utmost character, preparation. I mean, he's a great dude. And that side of it does not get talked about enough. And I had to praise him for it a little bit. Ty Benefield will be a dog for LSU next year. Last dog for LSU. I got to give one more guy. TJ Daugherty. That's another LSU transfer that we have to show love to. He led the SEC in total tackles last year. He's a unit. We have one of the best linebacker duos in the country. You pair him with Weeks. You obviously have the men up front, a Jordan Ross, a Princewell, Don McKinley, Deuce Geralds, Rich Anderson, all that great stuff. The back end's phenomenal. DJ Pickett, PJ Woodland, Tamarcus Cooley, Ty Benefield, all these names, everybody. This is the man I think, though, you could learn arguably the quickest. He's going to be the mouthpiece of the defense. He'll be almost like the quarterback. I'm sure he'll have the headset. He'll be getting everybody in line. You'll see him running, communicating, sprinting. He is a team player. He'll leave it all out there for you. It's the perfect, look, I'll say this. This is how I'm going to describe him. Everybody's saying, where's that physical LSU defense? Why are they not angry? Why are they not physical? Why are we not violent? We need more aggressive players. They need to be aggressive. There you go. You got it. TJ Daugherty is smash mouth LSU football. He will run through your face, through the gap. Doesn't matter what happens. He's a dog. This is another one of those ones where LSU hit on the money. Now, I do think on the entire list, this man right here, though, he going to take the cake. Shout out Colin Simmons. I think Colin Simmons could be a top 3 pick in the entire draft, which is crazy, but the value on edge rushers is just through the roof now. They're so expensive, and then they're so important to the damn game. All right, let's hop out of here, but I want to talk about Team USA. The World Cup is over for Team USA. Oh, my God. They got murked. I ain't gonna lie. They got absolutely dismantled by Belgium. I was afraid of it. I didn't think they would get oh, my God. Was it 4-1? I was thinking 2-1. Maybe 1-0. 4-1. Oh, my God. I should have been the goalie. The goalie ran. Look at that man to the left. And I ain't trying to, I don't like doing this. What the hell? Why he ran out the damn goal? He ran out so far, he ran out the box, he couldn't even use his hands no more. That's how far you're going, buddy. Back up. You got 3 people around you able to do that. You back up. You go stand in front of that goal, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Then he kicking the dirt. Oh, my God. I know that hurt his damn toe. I know he stubbed his toe. I don't even – look, bro, that's right there. Oh, Lord. I bring a tear to your eye, bro. Stubbing your toe in the damn dirt. And then the Balogun red card drama, it didn't even matter. It really didn't matter. I ain't gonna lie. And I'm not saying that him playing didn't matter. I'm just saying that in the end, Belgium was still able to do that thing. U.S. played so sloppy. Turned it over. Took forever to do anything. And then Christian Pulisic, he got hurt again. And people are giving him crap for that. He gets hurt and he subs out and all this good stuff. What you want him to do? He probably couldn't run. They had a Belgium dude do the same thing, number 8. Actually, they had 2. Regardless. I don't understand that side of it. Like, oh, you got to rest when your career's over or whatever. Like, you don't rest now in the middle of the game. He's been playing with a hurt calf the whole entire World Cup. Like, his shit was probably about to rip. He probably couldn't even run no more. In his head, he was thinking, damn, me at 60%, probably not as good as the backup coming in at 100%, which it makes sense, in my opinion. Regardless, though, it's over for the United States. World Cup still got a little bit left, though. 8 teams. Out of the 8, out of the 4 games, I believe France, Spain, England, Argentina probably win. Easy picks, all favorites, clear-cut teams. They got the most talent overall. But I would love to see my boy Holland win, man. I would love to see a little rule past England, bro. I would love to see it. Ain't got no games today either. You do have one tomorrow, though. I think it's France and Morocco. Let me double check. So I don't give y'all any cap. Yep, France versus Morocco tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Look, I ain't even going to give you no parlay. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Take that Mbappe anytime. My boy, he's chasing that golden boot, man. Messi just got him. Hey, also, hold up, pause. I hope y'all rode that parlay on Monday because I did say, hey, we said España advance. Yamal shot on target and Messi goal. It hit. Hold on. Y'all hear that? Yeah, that's a good luck charm. Some people are tailing and having a good time. Make sure that you're one of them. In college football season, when it comes around, the model will be pristine. The model will be just chef's kiss, polished. We're going to be cooking. That's it. It's just Chef Boyardee, Chef Verdin in the cut. Y'all mark that though. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'm about to hop out of here. Hit that thumbs up. We're back live Friday at 9 a.m. Y'all have a good one.